Hi everyone, LeeJ2512 here. I thought I would show off something that I haven't done in a while. I thought I would do the Hogwarts House editions of the books. And I haven't done these since the Prisoner of Azkaban, I think, maybe well over a year ago. They've still been releasing them every year. I skipped Goblet of Fire and Order of the Phoenix because, I just got kind of bored of getting them because I couldn't justify owning multiple copies of the same book with different colors. So, but it's Half-Blood Prince. Half-Blood Prince is my favorite book. It's my favorite Harry Potter book. So I think this was the first book I read. You might judge me for this, but the Half-Blood Prince was the first Harry Potter book I read before watching the films. So that's when I started reading the books properly. Was back then, but I'd read them before. But it was always after the film had come out I'd read the books. But this is the first one that I read before the film even came out, and that was 2009. That's when I read this, and that's when I became obsessed with Harry Potter. That's when I started making this channel. That's when I started doing all of everything, really. So, yeah, I thought I would take a look at the house editions for Half-Blood Prince. I've gone for the hardback copy of Slytherin and the paperback for Gryffindor. And you guys have seen the kind of style they have by now. They tend to have the same kind of thing, but they have... The cover's the same, which I didn't. It took me a while to recognize who it was in the front, but I realized that I was being a moron, and it's Snape, obviously. But the actual cover is beautiful. You have the dark mark there for it in like Hogwarts there as well to show that it's infiltrated Hogwarts. There's I don't know what that is. What is that? Is it the astronomy? That's not the astronomy tower, is it? It looks like the book version of the astronomy tower, yeah. And then this might be the entrance to the cave. That Harry and Dumbledore go to, and it's yeah, and then so yeah, it's very nice. The dust jacket protects it, and the page. I always love the design of these as well on the hardback. On the paperback, it's solid color, but on the hardback, you have the stripes to go along with the house. So if I got the hardback edition of Gryffindor, I think it would be red pages with yellow stripes, I think, and. So yeah, but what I really like about, I was going to set this to the side for a minute, but what I really like about the, focus up a little bit here. What I really like about the house editions is that it gives you information linked to, well obviously they all have these different intro pages at the start, but it gives you information about the houses relevant to the story. So you'll see what I mean in a second. So I think this released on, was it Friday? Last Friday? So we obviously have Salazar Slytherin for the Slytherin edition, and really nice art, just exactly what I would expect Salazar to look like. And there's an introduction, there's content, so there's an introduction to Slytherin, the map of Hogwarts, which is brilliant, is always useful, and there is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, chapters 1 to 30, so I'm guessing that's just the whole book, and then at the end we have something to do with Draco and the magical books of the Wizarding World. But so we have this at the start, so I think, yeah, this is relevant to the story. So if you haven't read the book or haven't seen the film, spoilers, but this is kind of Slytherin in relevance to the story. So it mentions Snape, it mentions Draco, it mentions Unbreakable Vow, it mentions Narcissa Malfoy, it mentions a lot of dark things, and Slughorn as well. Slughorn might be my favorite Slytherin, to be honest with you. He's resourceful, but in the end, he is loyal to the good side and the light, and that shows that Slytherins can be good. So he's my favorite Slytherin. And so he's just, yeah, then you get the map of Hogwarts, which has been in every edition of the newer ones for, I think, it's Bloomsbury that do this. Yeah, Bloomsbury. So Bloomsbury have been doing this map of Hogwarts and the grounds for a few years now. It's always beautiful. It's always gorgeous to see the grounds here. And yeah, and then we have into this. Every time I'm in the kitchen, by the way, now, when I'm on a phone call or I'm just chatting or drinking a cup of tea or something, I find myself picking up this book ever since I bought it, and I've been reading it again. So, I didn't mean to do that even. I just tried to, I didn't even mean to start reading it. I just thought it was, I don't know, a comfort read maybe. So I'll see what they mean by chapters 1 to 30, and then if there's anything at the end for Draco, because it did say something about Draco at the end. So the pages for some reason are quite sticking together. I don't know why. So here's here's a character profile on Draco. He is a Slytherin. Ambitious, cunning, and there's some quotes here that he has. Wow. Yeah, some of his most dastardly moments. And some character art for Draco. Magical books of the Wizarding World from Slytherin. Oh, it's advanced potion making. So I would say, I mean, this Slytherin is probably the most relevant to Half-Blood Prince. I want to see what the differences are with Gryffindor. But yeah. And then at the end, you just got a thing about J.K. Rowling. So the Slytherin edition is very nice. I want to see what the differences are with Gryffindor and how relevant Gryffindor is to the story. Paperback, obviously, I really like the solid colour. That's why I like to go for the paperback red, because red is my favourite colour, but I am a Slytherin, so I like to go for the red when I can. The cover is the same. Then we have the courage, bravery, determination for Gryffindor, and a bunch of do-gooders. And then we have a little line here on the dedication page that J.K. Rowling wrote, and Godric Gryffindor here. And then it's the same, yeah, an introduction for Gryffindor, the map, the book, and oh, Dumbledore's in this one at the bottom, at the back, and the magical books of the Wizarding World. I wonder what that one is, but so let's see how it's relevant here. Dumbledore. So it talks about Dumbledore. Okay, fair enough, yeah. It talks about Dumbledore and the pensieve. It must talk about, yeah, working with Harry to find the Horcruxes, yep, so it mentions Ron as well. Yeah, this book is about Ron too. He's a lot happens to Ron in this book. He becomes Gryffindor keeper, and yeah. Oh yeah, the Fred and George have their own business now. So okay, so there is a lot. I'm also interested now, like what how relevant Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw are to Half-Blood Prince. That'll be interesting. If you guys have the Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff editions of Half-Blood Prince, let me know what's different about this introduction here. Like, let me know what's said in the introduction, because yeah, it would be interesting to find out how Hufflepuffs and Ravenclaws are relevant to the story and what ones are mentioned in here, because I'm trying to think of, I can't think of much. I'm sorry. So it mentions Lavender Brown, it mentions Neville as well after the fight at the Ministry in the 5th book. He gets a new wand. But yeah, so it could be a Gryffindor story too. And then we have the map again. So I'm going to cut right to the end here for the talk about Dumbledore. Here we go, here's Dumbledore. And here are some quotes and a few of his words of wisdom. So I like this book because it explores Harry's relationship with Dumbledore. Because, in the first few books, Dumbledore would be the kind of sweeping character at the end who would just walk in and solve out all the problems. But it's not until later on that you realise he's human. He is, but you realise that he has his own agenda. You realise he's been doing things in the background the entire time. And this is when you start to realise that he's up to something. And so this is when he's in the Horcrux hunts and magical books of the Wizarding World. Gryffindor, Quidditch through the ages. That looks like Harry Potter. It is Harry, yeah, okay. I thought that was supposed to be Kennel-worthy Wisp, but no, that is Harry with a lightning bolt and Hedwig. So that's him attending to his broom. That's nice. That's nice art. So yeah, these editions are really nice. I always like how they find a way to make the houses relevant to the story. Like I said, if you guys know or you have the Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff editions of the books, let me know what's different about the introduction, because it would be interesting to know how they fit into the overall plot of Half-Blood Prince. Obviously, Dumbledore and Harry go back into the pensieve and talk about and find out how many Horcruxes there are and who has them. And I imagine that the Hufflepuff one would have something to do with Hufflepuff's cup. Maybe, so because the diadem isn't found until later on, like in Deathly Hallows or something. So yeah, that's it from me. I really like his books. I kind of regret not getting Goblet of Fire and Order of the Phoenix, because Order of the Phoenix is my second favourite Harry Potter book, so it's a shame. I might have to go back and get those, but we were moving at the time, so I just couldn't justify filling up even more storage boxes with the same book, just different colours. So But they are really interesting. Let me know what versions you guys have went for. Have you gone for the hardback Gryffindor? Or have you gone for the paperback Slytherin? Have you gone for the hardback Hufflepuff? Let me know. Right, that's it from me, guys. Hope you're all doing well. If you want to catch up or anything, or if you want to talk to anyone, just catch me on Facebook. It's the same name, and I'll talk to you about Harry Potter or anything, whatever you want. Right, goodbye, guys. Bye.